This week's News 2 review might have you reaching for the covers. Movie critic Manning Franks checked out the horror film Barbarian, focused on a woman's night at an Airbnb.
While this may sound spooky, is the story compelling enough to get News 2 approved? There's only one way to find out.
I like to consume as much content for a film as possible before I go in, but sometimes it is best to go in blind. Barbarian is one of those twisty types of films whose viewing experience is improved if a little patience is practiced. I saw one great trailer and some solid word of mouth, and I knew that I had to see what was called the craziest horror film of the year yet. And yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna question my Airbnb choices from now on.
Keith?
While in Detroit for a job interview, Tess Marshall discovers that the Airbnb she is staying at was double booked in a rundown neighborhood. Now, with an unexpected roommate, Tess, against her better judgment, stays the night.
Why don't you come inside and we'll call these idiots?
However, she soon begins to discover that this small house has more than just a surprise guest. It has secrets as dark as the caverns underneath. Barbarian subverts conventional horror expectations in creative ways by setting up established tropes before slowly peeling back the layers in a mystery that will leave your pulse pounding and your screams abounding. The first half of Barbarian is a masterclass in building up suspense and letting tension simmer. Even with impending twists around the corner, Barbarian does a stellar job making your skin crawl in the smallest ways thanks to great direction from Zach Cregger. While that suspense burns bright, like all candles, it eventually goes out. As all the pieces come into play, the luster of Barbarian's unsettling use of tension begins to unravel with a rushed third act that can't quite catch the highs of its spectacular setup, resulting in an abrupt ending that doesn't feel equal to the sum of its parts. It feels like the film lost interest in its characters' personal stories and just left many plot threads lost in the dark corners of the labyrinth. Am I disappointed with the hype surrounding Barbarian? Yes, absolutely. But did I also have an exhilarating time at the theater? The answer also is absolutely. As a horror film, Barbarian is deeply disturbing, surprisingly funny at parts, and will surely make you scream in terror. If it does anything, it certainly does that. I'm going to give Barbarian a for you to decide. If you're brave enough, you can see it now only in theaters.
A million questions on this one.
My first thing is, if you
questions.
double book at an Airbnb, I'm not staying there with a stranger.
Well, okay.
I'm getting a hotel, so that's where she messed
right.
up first.
Well, okay, they explained that in the movie,
Okay.
I will say, about
Like,
she
who does
tried to
that?
call. I'm not going to spoil too
Yeah,
much
yeah.
because, as I said at the beginning, it's best to sometimes go into films without any
Okay.
preconceived notions, seeing as little or reading as
Yep.
little as possible. This is one of those movies because there are some twists, one twist in particular that I won't spoil, that's like, oh my goodness, they really went there, or they really did
Okay.
something that really took me off guard because they were setting you up for something else, and then they
they
pulled
took
the
you one
rug.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
pulled the rug right out from under you.
Chad won't be seeing
no,
it.
He won't
Hopefully-
be.
I just hope she left a review on Airbnb after her experience there, right? Because
0
if she
stars.
lived to do it.
That would have been a great ending
That would
scene,
be-
like after credits of her, of Tess doing that, because the actress who plays Tess, she really carries this movie. So I will
Okay.
give her massive props, even if the movie itself, I feel like kind of forgot about the characters and their motivations and just went for the scares by the end.
So
of
is
the
this, you said jump scares. You told me there are
Yes.
some. Okay. So Silence of the Lambs is one of my all-time favorite horror movies that is so suspenseful,
Yes.
but there's not as much gore. So is that like this or no?
Well, the first half of this movie is similar to that. So the suspense in this film, I believe, is some of the best that I've seen in some time for the first half. Second half is when it starts to kind of unravel a little bit in a way that's not as, how shall I say, nuanced.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, more just here it is.
More,
right?
more is here it is. Not that it's bad, it's just kind of let me down.
I won't be seeing it.
I know you won't. Okay.
I'm not really into
I would watch
don't
that. I
know.
like a good scare.
I would watch that
And it
too.
makes you question your Airbnb choices. Be very vigilant,
Yes.
everybody. Be very vigilant.
Read the reviews.
Read the reviews.
Lauren and I watch horror movies like
Yeah.
this.
Like you want to see it, but you gotta Prep yourself.
That's exactly what
Protect yourself.
All right, we're continuing this conversation on Facebook, and while you're there, make sure you search for the 4 to 5 Club and join our group. We have about 1,200 members, and it is rising. We're trying to get as many as possible, maybe even up to 1,500 or more. So check it out.